I'm turning the tables.
Okay, we're back for part 2, and now it's your turn. We've got a bunch of fan questions for Gabriella, plus a few turning the table stories that you guys sent in. Let's get into it. Okay.
So yeah, there's some for both of you guys.
Yeah, Gabriella, you never met Pat, right?
Maybe when I've set up your computer several times.
Oh yeah. So
that track.
Pat, isn't she so smart? She's
So
like
smart.
amazing.
Like
Yeah.
seriously, part 1, I was blown away. It was crazy.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
you're going to be so successful at whatever you want to do. It's exciting, and I want to pick your brain on crypto because I love crypto. Are you into crypto?
I'm not. So as soon as I'm into crypto, you can pick my brain.
Yeah, Gabriella, you should start talking to people at your school that know how to do that.
I know. I should.
No, seriously.
All right, guys, these are from Turning the Tables Instagram. This is from Alyssa in New Jersey. What's one thing you miss most about being home with your family?
The food.
I knew she was gonna say that.
Food, yeah, I mean, the Midwest, like I said, culture is very different. You don't have your Sunday dinners anymore. And obviously growing up with my Nana and Nano, I was kind of spoiled. They would make food for me every day. I would come home with a lunch prepared. So I also just miss my mom's cooking.
I bet.
Yeah.
And
the
you,
dining
of course,
hall and the sorority house chef just aren't as good, unfortunately.
I think your mom, I don't know where she just bolted.
She disappeared.
Next question. This is Jessica in Westchester, New York. How do you manage being so private while the rest of your family is so public? How do you navigate that?
So it all comes down to just my mom accepting my interests and my own personal beliefs. I have a private Instagram. She doesn't tag me. She respects that I don't want to be tagged, and so do all my sisters. And obviously, I'm not involved with doing any brand deals or any of that stuff, so that also helps keep me being private. And I only go on the show when my mom absolutely needs me to.
Yeah, and I ask her, and if she feels comfortable with it, then, she does it. Otherwise, I don't force her to do it,
Yeah, and I'm also, it's not like I absolutely hate it. I am happy to do it when she asks me.
Okay, this one is from Tina in Fort Lauderdale. Would you ever, I know the answer will be no to that one. If you'd ever join another Housewives franchise, so I won't even ask that one. Rachel from Scottsdale, what's the best advice that your mom gave you right before moving out?
I mean, whether it's before moving out or just something she's told me my entire life, she's always told me to be surrounded by people who are like me or who are better than me. And I definitely resonate with that being at the University of Michigan.
Amanda from Las Vegas wants to know, is it weird watching yourself as a little kid on Real Housewives of New Jersey now that you're older? And if you do, ever?
No, it's so cute, right?
As a little kid, I definitely don't find it strange. In fact, sometimes on some blue moon, I'll literally look up clips of Melania because they make me die of laughter.
Yeah, like we all laugh with the clips with Melania.
Yeah. There's
and then it's so cute, even watching you, Gabriella, you're like trying to you're the same way how you are now, like when you were younger.
We don't have home videos, but I would consider the clips of us as little kids when they're funny little scenes, I would consider those our home videos.
No, I do have home videos. I have them, Gabriella. I should give them to you so you could, because I used to take them, but I don't have so many. But I do have some. I have the little.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm gonna give them to you because you know what? You're really good with the computer, and then you could download them and you could look at them.
Yeah, no, I would love to.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give them to you because I was gonna give them to Gia, but I don't think Gia's as good. You're probably better, and then you could distribute them to everyone.
Yeah, I will. That's cool.
All right, next one is from Carla in Boston. Are there any college traditions that you've picked up and that you love from Michigan that you're going to bring home when you graduate?
Good question. I mean, I would say the biggest tradition that I follow is game days on Saturdays. So hopefully when I graduate, I can take my family back to Michigan and we'll go for a couple game days. If not, we'll just watch them at home as well.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, these are we have a couple questions about turning the tables, and so we like to hear stories from people about how they've turned the tables in their lives and turned bad situations into good ones. Lauren from Tampa kind of wants your advice on something. I just graduated college and I moved back with my parents. I feel stuck and like I'm going backwards. How do I stay motivated to feel independent again?
Yeah, I would say obviously going from college life where you're completely reliant on yourself to going back home where you are, living under somebody's roof and abiding by whatever you have to there is definitely an adjustment. And she said she was feeling unmotivated.
Yeah, she's feeling unmotivated.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know her situation if she is working yet, but I would say a good routine is something that will always make you feel motivated. Whether you like working out, signing up for a class versus having a gym membership, I think is more effective because then it forces you to go. And again, if you have a job, a routine of having those set hours will help you go. Ultimately, if you desire success, I think that will help you stay motivated as well.
I would also say, like, yeah, I mean, if you graduated college, definitely look for a job
Yeah.
and like get yourself working,
Yeah,
like, I
use
mean,
that
that's a
degree,
must.
take advantage of it. Not everyone has the opportunity to get a degree, so if you have one, definitely take advantage of it.
Vanessa from Long Island, it's a question for you, Teresa. What is it more gratifying or sad watching your daughters grow up and fly out of the nest?
Um, yeah, I'm not like that. I'm like, I try to enjoy every minute of their life, and like, it's both, of course, I love when they were little. I remember that, but then also I have four built-in best friends now that, I'm just so proud of them. I look at them and, they make me happy. And yeah, I mean, because I come from a small family, so I really don't, I lost my parents. So my daughters are all I have. So it is, what they're asking, gratifying. It
Yeah,
is, yeah.
gratifying.
No, it is because they're my daughters, they're my family, they're my best friends, they're my everything.
When you've done such a great job raising them, like it's fun to see quality kids grow up to be great adults.
Thank you.
Megan from Nashville, Tennessee. This is kind of a funny question. What's your group chat with your sisters like, and who texts the most and who cusses the most?
Melania, hands down.
Curses the most, yes.
She does both to most. Because the thing is, when I text Adriana, Gia, we text like in one message, whatever it is, whether it's like an update in our lives, something we want to tell them, something we want to share. Melania does like, guys, and like texts in separate messages and sends like 15 at a time. And just starts freaking out about something. So I know when I'm getting a text from her because she texts me 15 times for one thing.
And when I text the group chat, I'm talking into my phone, so I misspell things, because
Like, half makes sense, half doesn't, but I know what she means because I know she's talking into Siri.
right. So all my daughters know how I speak. Yeah.
Okay, this one is from Nina in Los Angeles.
I know. Wait, we have two. We have separate ones. They have a sisters one, and then they have one with mom and sisters.
Oh yeah, you can't mix the two.
Yeah.
No, can't that. Nina in Los Angeles, now going away to school, is it hard explaining to your friends what it was like growing up on Bravo? And do a lot of them ask?
I would say it's definitely different being at college because in growing up, just like in my high school, in my town, people knew about it, but they were more accustomed to it because it's like kind of old news as you grow up. But in college, they obviously have not grown up with you your entire life. So a lot of people either know about it or don't know about it. Again, it's about finding friends with the right intentions, but I do acknowledge that some people, like, the idea of a reality TV show is foreign to them. So if they ever have questions, like, I feel comfortable answering them because I understand why they would be curious, what they want to know about. So if they have questions, like, I answer them.
Mia from Scottsdale. All my friends are starting serious relationships and I'm still single and swiping. First part of this, are you in a relationship? And number two, if you're not, do you feel pressure in college to be in one?
So I actually am in a relationship. I've had a boyfriend for all of high school, and We have been doing long distance in college. He's really great because we're able to be super independent, which is something that I really like. So we're great together, but we're also great apart. And we're able to navigate long distance just fine. And when I'm home for the summers, it's also really great. So because I have a boyfriend, no, I don't feel pressured to have a boyfriend in college. In fact, I think hookup culture is very common in college. So while people have long distance boyfriends, have met boyfriends in college, or they're just hooking up. So she's saying she feels pressured to get a boyfriend.
Yeah, she feels pressured to get a boyfriend.
I would not feel pressure to get one because when the right one comes along, you'll know, and then that's what's worth your time. Why would you date a guy just to date him? That's a waste. So tell her, whoever's pressuring her, to lay off because it doesn't really matter. When it's the right time, it'll happen.
I second that. Yeah.
Same.
And just have fun. Yeah. And don't even think about it. And like exactly when the right one comes, like she'll know when the right one comes along. Yeah.
Yeah.
When she least expects it.
Exactly.
Rachel from West Orange, New Jersey. I just started college and I'm having a really hard time making new friends. Any advice on putting myself out there, and how did you do it so fast?
Yeah, so I think it depends whether or not you're at like a really big school or a small school. I would say for my school, there's a whole bunch of routes in order to get involved in social life. So for me, I got involved in professional organizations and I met people simply through academic clubs, finance clubs. That was one way. Another way was just putting myself out there, never really saying no, at least my first semester of college, going out, going to dinners, meeting new people, having tailgates in different rooms and dorms. And then lastly, definitely through a sorority. So I would say if you have any of those three things available at your school, I would take advantage of them. But yeah, you just have to definitely be more, I guess, free with going out and trying new things.
And meeting
Yep.
people. Yeah.
Kayla in Los Angeles. My sister and I are super close, but we've been fighting now that I've moved away to college. When you and your sisters argue, how do you get back in the groove with your siblings?
Yeah, that's sad. I'm sorry that you're arguing with your sister, but it's obviously normal. I would say I don't really argue too much with my sisters because I tend to be like a mediator, if anything. But when we do argue, I think it's just about realizing who is wrong in that situation and just coming forward and apologizing. There's no reason to hold a grudge. Like, she's your sister, you're gonna love her no matter what. So you just have to, at some point, lose the stubbornness and apologize and move forward.
And you should always, because I feel like sometimes, like you could be sweeter to your friends than your sibling. Make sure you don't do that. Make sure you always put your sister first because it is your blood, and I'm all about that. And always communicate and try to hash it out and don't let it go that long.
Yeah,
Yeah, right, Gabriella? Definitely second that. Yeah.
I do.
You should always treat your sibling better. I mean, or the same, but don't treat your friends better than your sibling. Always treat first of all, your sister should always come first. But my point is, don't ever put your friend before your sister.
Yeah.
Treat them the same.
Gabriella from San Diego has a question, and she goes, I too hate being called Gabby. How do you feel about it? You kind of answered that in part one, but I also feel like I have to be the, in quotes, perfect daughter, student, and friend all the time. And this is for Teresa and for you, Gabriella. Teresa, if you had a daughter that felt that way, how would you navigate that? And Gabriella, do you have any advice for her to help her not feel like she has to be perfect all the time?
Yeah. So for me, I definitely understand that because I'm very compulsive, I'm detail oriented, and I like to control every detail. So I definitely feel that need to always be perfect. I think what helps is that my mother has never made me feel that way. My father, nobody's ever made me feel that way. And unfortunately, if she is feeling pressure from, her guardians in her life, that obviously is unfortunate because it only makes everything worse. But I think you just have to separate yourself from that and understand that making mistakes and just going at your own pace is honestly what's going to make you perform your best.
And Teresa, what would you do if one of your daughters felt like that? How would you help them?
Well, if they told me, I would be like, I don't want you to be perfect. I want you to be go at your own pace. And like, yeah, I mean, you shouldn't, like, no one's perfect. I would
Yeah.
say no one's perfect in life. Like there's no one has a perfect life. Yeah, no one could be perfect. We all, at some time, you know, make the wrong decision or yeah, I mean, there's nothing perfect in life, unfortunately. Yeah. So I would say, please, if you feel that way, you know, I don't want you to feel that way. And, we all, in life, you have to make mistakes and learn lessons in life. And, that's what helps you grow into into the person that you're going to become.
Danielle from Paramus, New Jersey, first of all says Happy Pride Month to everybody. And then
Happy
Gabriella,
Pride Month.
if there's a documentary about your life, not your family, just you, what would you want it to focus on?
My work ethic, my goals, my objectives, my, I guess, desire for perfectionism, but also managing that and learning how to overcome that at times.
And the fact that you're going to be the boss of a lot of people someday as a head of a company.
Yes.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
Yeah.
A girl boss.
Okay, just a couple more guys. Kelly from Philadelphia. What's the one thing people would be surprised to learn about your personality, Gabriella?
Mom, what do you think?
Oh my God, I just thought like she is so much fun, like to go out with. Yeah, like if you look at her, you think she's like, I don't know, like, yeah, that she doesn't know how to have a good time. She knows how to have a good time. Like she's both. Like she studies hard, like plays hard, and works hard. Yeah, she's like such a good time. Her friends absolutely love and adore her. I mean, I love hanging out with her. Her sisters do. Like she's fun. Yeah. So yeah, she's definitely a good time.
And Ashley wants to know, she's from Denver, and she wants to know when your mom comes up to school, what's it like having your mom, in quotes, Teresa Giudice, hanging out with all the students and all your friends? Do they go crazy? Do they like it?
It's not like that because my friends are friends with me because they met me and they like me and we connect and get along and they love me. They're not friends with me because of my mom. But like I said, some are either familiar with it or have never heard of the show before. So if they do know about it, they see my mom as Gabriella's mom, not anything else really. But obviously, I'm sure they think she's amazing and she's great and probably, I don't know, different from TV. Happy to meet her. They probably have never watched the show. So that's more of a difficult question.
Okay, last question. Nicole from Austin says, in 5 years from now, where do you see yourself? And in 10 years from now, where do you see yourself? What will you be doing?
Okay, in 5 years from now, I'll be graduated from college. So I'm studying abroad next year for 4 months. So that'll definitely satisfy my desire to live out of the country for a little bit. I obviously long-term always want to be in New Jersey or New York. However, if I was offered the opportunity to say, I don't know, work in London or somewhere in Europe for a year or 2 years, I would take it just because you only live once and I've always had like a curiosity to travel and, just be around different cultures. I really admire that. So if I have the opportunity, I'll take it. If not, I'll probably be working in the epicenter, like New York City, in finance, maybe on Wall Street. And hopefully in 10 years, I'll be owning my own company, probably have a family, settle down, again, probably live in like Bergen County, New Jersey, somewhere like that.
Emily from Providence, final question here, promise. She said, I know you're a really private person, but where can people find you online? Because your Instagram is private, right?
Yeah. So I'm private on Instagram. That probably won't change. But I recently became public on TikTok. And I haven't filmed any content of myself per se, but I really like aesthetic content, any travel content, probably any organization content. So I've just been having fun posting that. Super casual.
Yeah, she just started it, so it's on TikTok. And what's the name of it, Gabrielle?
Just my name.
Gabriella? Yeah, so and she loves like traveling. That's Gabriella's thing. She loves traveling. So
Yeah, I'm very lucky.
Say it again?
No, I said I'm very lucky, but I like to travel.
Yeah, no, so she just posted like her trip that she just went on in Croatia. It was absolutely stunning. Beautiful. And you know what I love about that? It's like you always could go back and look at it. And it's like right on your phone. Even though you could do you could do the same with pictures, but then it's
No,
harder to
but-
find, you know?
But you know how I am. I have my camera. That's what I asked for Christmas. Even to Croatia, I brought 3 different film cameras. I'm getting them developed. I've always been very interested in having like a catalog of all my memories. I really
Yeah,
do.
and that's how I was when I was your age. Yeah.
So you are probably the biggest influence for wanting that in my life. But TikTok, just looking back at them, seeing what I've experienced and what I've, got to see in real life is really nice, honestly.
Yeah, because I have so many photo albums, you know. I mean, I have if the fans could just see how many pictures I have of my kids, like Tupperware huge containers, like huge containers of photos.
Yeah, 4 or 5 boxes in our room each.
Yes, and I gave them all. Now they have their own. I started giving it to them so they have pictures of themselves. So I wanted them to see everything that I've done for them because they don't remember everything. So I love that they could see, all their photos. Because after the event or after years passes, like the only thing you have is photos to look back at. Those are the only, those are the memories.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Okay, cool. Well, that's all the questions I have. Gabriella, thank you so much for doing this.
All right, guys. So that's a wrap for part 2. Thank you so much for sending in all your questions. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe where you get your podcast. And thank you, Gabriella. Love you so, so much. My beautiful porcelain doll. Love you.
Love you so much.
And
Thanks.
thank you, guys. Love, love, love. See you next week. Mwah.
Bye.
I'm turning the tables. I'm turning the tables. Let's go. I know you love my style. I'm gonna make them smile. I am the one to win. Keeping them all to win. I'm turning the tables. I'm turning the tables.